we'll make it to 11:28, and then the meeting will. It's all just for future reference. If I would pay $3, so then you get unlimited time.
I'm recording
That's
this.
so relevant.
And it's the 8th of June. Fine. And it's Chofetz Chaim, Rabbi Fabian substituting for Rabbi Levitt.
Okay, fine. Why don't we start? So, Roy, I don't know. You should try to get something, preferably the one that. Where'd you go, Roy?
I'm still here.
Oh, I see. You took the picture out.
I don't know. Sure, I don't know what I'm doing. All right.
Okay, as long as you.
Him.
You should at least listen in, but you should try to get a Sefer, at least be something, preferably the one that's consistent with everybody else. They have an art scroll one, I think, is what the rest of them have.
Yeah.
I have a regular one. It's just the regular old-time Shmir Lashon in Hebrew. Okay.
Yeah. We've got a few Chofetz Chaim Lashon Hara books, but nothing that. Okay. Leave it at that then.
Okay, fine. Lou, why don't you start since Roy doesn't have to back?
Okay, I'm on page 260. This is Klal Vav, chapter Tet. Should I start in the beginning or where we left off? I'm not sure where we left off.
We finished test just at the very end there. So why don't we go to Yud? I think we finished test. If you're not sure about it and you want to go over it, it's no problem.
No. I remember this. Yeah, the receiver is guilty also. Yeah, I remember us reading that. That's fine. I'll go to test. So
go to Yud, I mean.
Or Yud. Yes, right. Aval pi she be'rarnu. Even though that we have demonstrated de kabbalas lashon hara de hayinu lehachlit belibo she hadavar emes, that accepting lashon hara, which means concluding in your heart that the report is true. Asur min haTorah. This is forbidden in the Torah, forbidden by the Torah. So I guess what the implication is that if you hear the lashon hara but you don't believe it, then you're not guilty.
Well, he's going to explain in the next few words.
Okay, Mikol Makom Amru Chazal. Nevertheless, Chazal say de la chush mihu boye, that one should still be mindful uvei hadavar, and the explanation of this thing is the tarich lekabel es hadavar b'derech chashash be'alma, that
this is like, maybe a little explanation. This is like what I said, we spoke about Gedalia ben Achikin. In other words, Gedalia ben Achikin said, it's Lashon Hara, I'm not going to believe it. And Nebuchadnezzar, unfortunately, it was true and the person killed him. But what he should have done was maybe not have necessarily taken it as a fact to believe it. Like he said, it was a question of Lashon Hara, but he should have certainly been lachush, like it says here, lachush mihu boy. He should have been suspect about it and investigated it and taking precautions because it was his life at stake. And that's exactly what he's saying here. Continue. So, Ber Hadaber, Yitzarek L'Kabel Es Hadaber, B'der Hashash Ba'alma. That's where you're at. Go ahead, Luke, continue.
But there's an implication here that in order for him to be suspect, he had to listen. He had to hear what was being said and then say, okay, I'm not going to believe it, but I'm going to be cautious. I'm going to take precautions to double the guard or whatever because I heard that the person's coming to kill me. So that would seem to me to imply that if he listens, he's not guilty.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so the tzarich that he needs to suspect that there's a possibility that the report is true. Hayinu rak kedei lishmor es atzmo mi menu. That is only in order to hear the himself atzmo mi menu, himself, what is being said about him. Shelo yagia lo chizek al yado, that he does not suffer damage from his hands, from the hands of the person that's being that he's being told is going to damage him. V'lo yiyeh zeh hadavar afilu begeder safek, and it's not. This is not something that what's getter? Offense?
No, getter is from the bound. We're just a mayor holding in yud. Mayor, we're holding in yud you have a place. Just let me get.
We're in
Shmir Salashin.
Salashin Yud. Okay, sorry.
Perik Vav, Halacha Yud. We started a few minutes ago. Lou, so you asked the question, what is getter?
Yeah.
So getter in this particular case, filu begetter suffix in the category of. Getter is it does mean it literally can mean offense, but in this particular case, what it means is it's the afilu begetter. It's the category of a suffix.
So he's got to consider the possibility that that it's true.
Right.
Because it's doubtful.
Right. Absolutely.
Dema midin le'adam bechezkas kashrus. That we believe that a person is in the category of being kosher.
But we establish a person, at least in the beginning stages, the mamid, and we stand him, we establish the person to be in a hezkas kashrus. The person has a hezkas kashrus until they mess it up.
Right.
A normal Jew that.
So we have to presume that he's a good guy, but we can still suspect that he's a bad guy. We
have to be cautious. We we set and give him a standard of a kosher Jew, that he's not going to be doing something bad or damaging. At the same time, we're allowed to be suspect and be cautious, prevent damage from occurring. Right.
Ulechein mechuyav adayin lehetiv im hanidon. Therefore, we're obligated. We're still obligated to do good with what is hanidon?
The nidon is referring to the person a person being judged. We're kind of judging him. That's why it's called a nidon, like a lashon din.
The judged person.
Person meaning the person who is in question, who's questionable whether or not he did something wrong or not.
Right.
You know, like he spoke lashon hara. He's going to do some damaging things. It's called the nidon. We have to go in a good way. To act in a positive way, in a good way, to this party where a suspect had spoke some lashon hara, or he's going to do something damaging, perhaps.
Right. B'chol hatovos shetiv sa haTorah lishar anashim miYisrael. And with all the goodnesses or the kindnesses that the Torah commands us to do for other Jews, people of Israel.
Right. Yeah, there's a certain halachas about what normally we're supposed to be doing for a normal Jew. Right? A Jew needs help. A Jew is judged favorably. Whatever, all the positive things of being part of the Jewish club.
Right. So for example,
that category still.
Let's say you're told that he's a thief. If he comes to your shul for Shabbos, you don't have to invite him to come to your home because you're afraid he might steal. But you have to smile at him and say hello, good Shabbos, and so on and so forth.
Right. It might be that if the person needed, the person actually needed food, it might be some mitzvah to arrange somehow for him to get food, but perhaps not to bring him to your house if you want him to be suspect. If he's a suspect thief, you're not so. Same time, you don't have to leave him hungry for something that you don't know is confirmed, a confirmed idea.
Right. Ki lo nigra arko be'einenu al yedei halishna bisha l'shum davar. Okay, so since lo nigra is what?
Gara means to drag after, but literally, in context here, what it means, his value isn't reduced. His worth, his value. If you love gara, it doesn't go down. His worth in our eyes through this bad language, this shum davar in any regard.
And what's arko?
value.
Value?
Right, Eric is a, there's a whole masecta called Erican. That's this word here. It's referred to when a person takes some type of a netter or something, or says, he's going to give to the base of the mikdash value. So there's a masecta called Erican. So that's based on this word, Erica, his value. So we're not going to reduce in our eyes his value based upon this this degrading language, the degrading language. Okay, maybe we'll move to Mayor. Mayor, you have the place?
Okay, I think so. Rak Shah Torah?
Yes.
Just wondering. Yeah, I
Okay.
guess there's a footnote here. The question is if it's something important. Just give me 1 second.
Sure.
I'll be right back.
He said, why don't you do, it's actually an interesting side note here, footnote here. Why don't you do the footnote? You have it, I assume.
Let's see if I can find it. It says on page 263. Oh, is that the law by A?
The Lomi boy, Heki the Balav, Alishna Bishahu, Shar Nashim Rai.
Okay, so the law by Echa Divla O Halishna Bisha. So what we don't say?
The Lomi boy, it's not necessary. The Lomi boy, we don't, it's something like it's not necessary where the Balav, Alishna Bishahu. It's not necessary. I think it's the running translation.
Okay, so it's not necessary, okay. Says when without the Lashon Hara, that the individual, who Kishar Anashim MiYisrael, he, like other men from Israel, I guess Jewish men, okay, should, I guess, be acceptable. Okay, let's see. Ella, afilu im b'lam hachi. However, afilu even, I guess.
Right.
Where, let's see. The lab hachi. The lab is without this, I guess. I guess without the Lashon Hara, I guess. Okay, let's see. Gam Cain nitchazek ba'ir la'adam rasha al yidei ma'asav hara'im. Okay. Gam Cain, you also nitchazek as I guess strengthened.
No, he has a, what's it called? He has we said that someone has a heskas kashrus. This guy is the opposite. His reputation is one in the city of being a Russian.
Oh, okay. Because I thought nitchazek was like chazak, to strengthen.
No, referring to Gam Nischaza, Chazek means like he's held, it's lashon of being held with a certain standard. In his case, it's this one, besides the lashon hara, the issue of lashon hara here, lashon bisha, the negative language regarding him, he already had a reputation as a Russian in the first place.
Oh, okay.
We're learning the footnote, Lou, which is on page, where is it you find the
Oh,
footnote?
it's on page 263, and it's the Haggadah concerning, we're about a third of the way down the translated paragraph.
It's number 6 or number 7?
It's still 6, clause 6.
I don't know. I mean, which footnote is it?
Oh,
it's in the
Haggadah.
Haggadah?
It's just on page 263, it says Haggadah.
I see. Okay, I got you.
Okay, and where it says,
Okay, can you tell Alan where we're at on your book there?
Alan, do you have the book, the Sefer Chofetz Chaim?
I do.
Okay, we're on page 263.
How do we get in?
Oh, how do you get in?
Wait a minute, here I am. I'm in.
Well, we
You're
see
in.
here.
That's you in. We see you. We can hear you and we see you.
You got in automatically.
I don't even know how I got in. I just kept pushing buttons.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I certainly don't know how anything happened. I just went along for the ride. Okay.
Well, you did a good job, Rabbi. You set it up nicely.
Thank my son, Yehuda.
Oh, okay.
That's what he gets.
Careful, it could be Lashon Hara. No, I'm serious. Because, right. It says
No,
here,
what he's saying is that his praising somebody sometimes can be considered Lashon Hara too, because then what happens when you praise somebody, people will come to say, no, it's not so, the person isn't so great, whatever, so that's what Roy is referring to. There is such a halacha in Shmiras HaLashon, not to be praising people too much, because it will lead people to come and contradict the praise.
yeah, I've got I'm digressing a bit, but I've got a situation here that Gabriel told Nehemiah, Zebulun might be very charitable, but he gives tzedakah for selfish reasons only. He loves honor. Nehemiah must continue to feel that Zebulun's philanthropy stems from pure intentions. If Nehemiah replies, I agree with you, he is guilty of both believing and speaking Lashon Hara.
Right. Okay, but let's move back. We're holding by a
Okay,
footnote
quick
here.
question. Which volume? Volume 1 was the Lashon Hara?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and the pages?
263.
What's that?
263.
263, okay.
And we're going over the Haggadah.
Okay, right. Now we're in a footnote here. In other words, this is Klal Vav.
Haggadah, right?
Footnote. What? Go ahead, Alan. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, fine. So continue a mayor in the footnote.
Okay, so we let's see, we just ended with Masav Haraim. So then it says, Ach she'al yadam lo yatsa adayin legamrei miklal she'ar anashim Yisrael.
Right, so this is the finish here. We said was, even though he has a reputation, even without the Lashon Hara, I guess, about him, forget that, but the guy in this city is known as a Russia, and he has done activities that imply he's a Russia, right?
Right.
Lo Yatsi, but he still hasn't gone out of the category. He's still not, he's not taking himself out of the Jewish, called the Jewish people here. Adayan, he's still in the klal we call Shar Anashim Mi Yisrael. he's going to explain in a minute what that means.
Okay.
What his benefits are for being part of Klal Yisrael, even though seems to be not exactly what we call the tzaddik of the town.
Uh-huh. Okay, so it says Kikon, which is an example usually. Lahashib lo avedah. So to return things.
He lost something. Right, he lost something. Do you have a mitzvah he's known for his actions as a Russia. Do you have to return if he lost something? You found a book or something, you found it was his.
Oh, okay.
Do you have to return it to him? Because since he's already the well-known town Russia, seems to be to a certain extent at least, you have to return him a lost Aveda. The answer is yes, you do. He's where, if it would be, for example, a non-Jew, you wouldn't have an obligation to return it, but you might have a mitzvah kiddush Hashem, or it's not a simple thing to say, but it's not, but there isn't the mitzvah of a Shevis Aveda doesn't apply to a goy, because the goy, since the goy, for sure, not necessarily is going to return something they find of the Jews, right? So we have no obligation to return their items necessarily. There's no mitzvah where if a Jewish person, this person is still in the category of part of the Jewish people, that you have a mitzvah, meaning a commandment to, yes, return to him, plus a couple other things that we'll explain in the next few words.
Oh, okay, because I was going to just add that even if you're returning something to a non-Jew, it's of benefit to the Jewish community that this non-Jew sees.
Right, that's what we call, I said, a Kiddush Hashem.
Oh, okay, Kiddush Hashem.
Kiddush Hashem, there's different, it's a whole called the whole sugya. It's not there's one story of somebody who found something of significant value. There's a couple things. There's a chazal that talks about a Tana or somebody found who bought from an Arab. He bought a horse or a mule or something, and on its neck was something quite valuable, whatever, a jewel of some sort, whatever, something quite valuable. And so he returned it to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Arab said, Baruch, bless the Jewish people, and he made a Kiddush Hashem. That's a famous story. Now, there's another story where a more, I guess I think it's quasi more recent, that in the olden days, a hundred, I don't know if it's 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 150 years ago, whatever, a certain tzaddik found an Arab had dropped a wallet or something, and had a significant amount of money in it, and it was a time of quite poverty. And so another Jew saw him and said, "No, you can get a mitzvah kiddush Hashem." Mm-hmm. So he said to him, "I'll tell you, it'll be my pleasure to lend you the money, and you can get the mitzvah kiddush Hashem."
Wow.
In other words, if you want to pay for it, you can have the mitzvah. So otherwise, because in fact, in reality, money was the Jewish person who picked it up. It was in fact his money, and so it's not, it's not as simple a thing as that. Depends. There are a lot of factors in it, it's a Dastor question. There is a famous story on this subject that there's a person many people know who he is. His name is Ruby Shrom. Assuming that I'm getting the right person in the story, or relatively so, Ruby Shrom today is one of the wealthiest Jews in the world. One of the He's a billionaire as far as I can understand. I think he was trying to buy the Empire State Building. I don't think he was successful. Okay, so I don't know. Okay. He at one point he was an Avrei. He learned Torah in yeshiva, and he decided. I don't know. He bought a house from somebody, and the person that he had bought it from had passed away. The descendants were selling the house with all the things included inside the house. They didn't feel like dealing with their mothers or somebody's all their old things.
Right.
So they just sold him everything, the house with everything in it. He went, the mattress seemed a bit funny, and he found in the mattress, like $1 million.
Wow.
So he went to, as far as I understand, to Moshe Feinstein and asked him what he should do. Said, obviously, they did not mean to sell you the house with the mattress filled with $1 million in it. That place didn't even cost him $1 million.
Right.
So he said, you give the money back to the children of the person, and you won't lose from it. At the time, he was a poor Avrei, and he listened to Moshe Feinstein, if I'm not mistaken, who Rob was. I'm not sure 100%, but I think it was Moshe. And he started going, he went into business, and he had a very special mazel, Avayom. And I think he's a billionaire at this point.
Wow. Amazing.
So that's the story of listening to Das Torah. So let's continue in the.
I have a very brief story.
Go ahead.
When my son was married in Chicago, he dropped a $50 bill outside of Tel's Yeshiva, in the public on just a main street. It was an accident. He lost his $50 bill, and he saw a sign that said, "Found a $50 found a large bill. Please claim." And so we went to the house of a non-Jew who had posted the sign, and we said, we lost a $50 bill. And she said, okay, here it is. She gave us a $50 bill.
Wow.
And she said she was Christian, and she said something like the equivalent of Baruch Hashem.
Right. So it's probably pretty clear that she had been around Jews and been influenced by them. Probably, it sounded like.
Yeah, she lived not too far from the yeshiva, about maybe half a mile from the yeshiva.
Right. So.
Okay.
So, Mayor, continuing in the footnote a little bit.
Okay. It says, "Uchidei litain lo tzedakah." Oh, Livdoto, redeeming someone, I guess.
Okay, so in other words, you're still in the category of this person who has a bad reputation still deserves to receive tzedakah if he needs help, even though he has a reputation as a Russia. And he also is supposed to be redeemed if he's taken as a captive by some people who steal people. Shem Yerachim.
Okay, other examples. Okay, let's see. Yatani Shma'alav od me'anashim sheyatsa ligamrei miklal amitecha.
Okay, so that means now we're going to hear on the further ode from people who are actually go out of the category completely of being part of the Jewish people. Now, this person we were talking about remained, even though he had a reputation as a Russia, remained part of the Jewish people. So we still have mitzvahs of Shevas Aveda, of Tzedakah, of Pidyon Shvuyin, And then there's another group of people they take themselves out of the category of being Jewish people completely. And he's going to explain who are these people.
כגון שדשביק התרה ואכיל אסורה. Who eats things he's not supposed to.
Going Shavik, Hahetera, Ba'achol, Isura. What it means is he has a choice. He has two things in front of him: something kosher and something trade. He's got in front of him a kosher piece of steak and a chazer. And some chazer. And he said, "Forget the steak. I'll eat the chazer."
Oh wow. Okay.
So this guy is no longer considered. In other words, it's not that a person eating trade. That's not what does it. It's a person who has both in front of him and he chooses the trade over the kosher. That's already, or he has a kosher piece and a trade piece of meat. Two steaks, they look the same, they taste the same, and he's told, this is kosher, this is trade. Right? Even a better example. Two pieces of steak, one is 100% glatt kosher, the dots, one is 100% trade. He chooses the trade one.
So that person,
Yeah.
they put him out of the Jewish, the
Right. He's now right. He has removed himself from being from the Jewish people by doing that, by choosing to not eat kosher. It's the same thing right in front of him. He's choosing trade for doctrine.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In other words, he has two. My second example was a better example. In other words, two things exactly the same, taste the same, look the same. He can eat whatever he wants, kosher or trade. He chooses trade over kosher, right? Not specifically. That's taking himself out of the Jewish people already.
Wow. Okay. Kevan shelo yitbarer divreihem b'beit din.
I'm not sure I have to see here what this is. Kevan, he said here, Kevan shelo yitbarer divreihem b'beit din. Rosh Amru Anashim B'der Sipur Ba'alma. Just to get the this needs a little bit of it's a long phrase.
Yeah.
What he's saying here is that in this particular case of this person, since it wasn't clarified the things in the basin, in other words, what the question is, this guy who took the trade over the kosher, now he's captured. He was captured, and his question is, do you redeem him or not?
Oh.
So the question is, the basin has to sit on this question. You don't just make this decision yourself based upon the fact that you saw him choose trade over kosher. Has to go to a basin and they have to clarify the whole thing. Because maybe there were some extenuating circumstances we don't understand. Perhaps the kosher meat had something in it that he was allergic to or something. Or there was some other extenuating circumstances we don't know about. So you can't just make your own mind up about this guy and leave him to be as a pidya, nishpa, yotz, or some similar idea. It has to be clarified through the basin. So, just to let everyone know, I started the meeting, I pressed the button 2 minutes before the reason we switched over, I switched over to this format. It's a one, they give 1 hour. They give 1 hour instead of 40 minutes, so we can have a full session. But I started 2 minutes early, so we'll finish at 11:28. It'll automatically go off. We'll pick up at 11:45 for the Gemara here. So, Alan, can you continue reading from Rak Shehatorah Hitir Lahush, where we went off to the side with a footnote there. Are you have the place, Alan?
I think I did. The last word was,
It's on 262, Alan.
263.
Yeah.
I thought it was on 263, okay.
It's 263.
We were just in a footnote.
Okay.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines up from the bottom on 263.
The middle part?
Yeah. First one on the line is rock.
The was that? However, this matter?
Devar.
Devar that?
Rock. No, not Devar Zeh. Where it should say Rock Shehatorah Hitir. Wait, excuse me. No. It should say Rock Shehatorah Hitir Lahush Lalish Mabisha.
Okay, that's not where I am.
Maybe. Wait a second here. Did I?
No, that's correct. Because we went to the Haggadah, it says page 263 there, and we didn't go any further.
Right. We were in the footnote, and I just quickly finished up the footnote and trying to move back to the text that you were. It was a text that you started, Lou, and then Mayer continued, and you got to the footnote, and we went through the footnote, and we're trying to come back to the regular text.
Okay, I was in the footnote, so ignore what I said.
Right. So why don't you tell him, Mayor, and where to Lou and to Alan where the place is.
Okay, on 260, the first indentation, the second line down, says Rakatorah Hitira.
I say it. It's the third line. It's the third line on 262. In the Hebrew-English part, not in the Hebrew.
Oh, okay, right, in the English-Hebrew part.
Rock Tahat Torah.
That's correct.
Okay, the Chus, the Chush, to be sure.
Alan, do you have drilling going on in your house?
But, yeah.
Do you have drilling going on in your house? Because it's pretty loud.
Yeah. We hear that all the time. Can't do anything about it. Finishing up.
Maybe somebody else should read and you should mute yourself, because I can't really hear you, because it's too loud.
Yeah. Let someone else continue then.
Okay, Lou, why don't you continue? Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Okay, you know how to mute yourself, Alan? You should be able to mute yourself. There should be a something that says mute somewhere under mic. If on the upper right hand, there's a picture of a microphone. If you click on that, it should mute you.
Yeah, look at that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You muted yourself. Okay, so Rak Shehatorah Hitira Lichush Lalishna Bisha. Okay, so only that the Torah permitted to be mindful of the lashon of the lashon hara, I guess. I don't know what bisha is.
Bisha is like lashon busha, the degradatory language.
Okay.
In other words, the Torah allows you to be suspect for the degrading language. You know, that this person was somebody spoke of degradation of guarding the town Russia that we spoke about.
Okay, so you're permitted to be mindful when you hear this degradatory language. You're permitted to be mindful about it. Le'inyan lishmor es atzmo ve'es acherim mimenu. To protect oneself and others from it. V'al kain kasvu ha-poskim, and therefore the halachic decisors wrote dema shemutar lachush. It's permissible to be careful, to be suspect,
Right.
to suspect. Hayinu heicha sheyuchal lavo liyadei hezek lo o la'acherim. So this applies to when the speaker, I'm sorry, the person being spoken about, the suspected evil person, or someone else. No, I'm sorry, the person who is being targeted potentially, or someone else, is liable to suffer harm. Im lo yachush lo, and if he isn't being suspect about this, then he has to be suspect about this. Devar zeh de la hacherim. This matter of someone else, tzarich beur rachav. It requires further investigation.
Extensive explanation.
Extensive explanation.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, broad explanation. So that you can skip a little bit, is just giving a reference source where you can get further explanation on the subject. Go out past the parentheses to the last part of this aval.
Aval be'inyan acher, but regarding other matters, asur lechush lashon hara ula ha'amino klal. It's forbidden to be suspect for lashon hara and to believe it at all.
Right, he's giving you a general idea. In other words, you're allowed, what we've explained here is that where there's potential danger, like we spoke about in the case of Gedalia ben Ahikin, there was potential danger. And there can be other cases of potential danger. So in a case of potential danger or damage, a person is allowed to be suspect, not supposed to believe it in their hearts, but they're allowed to take precautions and be suspect to make sure they don't get damaged. Right? Just a notification before we finish that we'll be picking up. We have about another minute. This thing's going to stop. We're we're going to be picking up at 1:45, another 15 minutes, practice 17 minutes. We're going to be picking up starting the Gemara shir. And tomorrow I'm not able to give the shir because I have a previous obligation from before a siddur party for my grandson that I agreed to go to already.
Mazel tov.
So I won't here. I don't have any other ideas for a substitute at this point. If for some reason there is, I'll send out. I'll have an email sent out or something to everybody.
Well, tomorrow's Friday schedule. Friday schedule is short because there's only one class anyway, so we're not missing as much.
Right. Okay. So with that, we'll conclude the meeting here for this moment. It's going to conclude anyway in the next few seconds or minute. So anybody, and then we'll continue at 1:45 with the Gemara here.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Sunday on Yudal.
See you, Maya.
Okay, be well, everyone. Have a good Shabbos if I don't see you.
Okay.